Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Hit the bell, subscribe. We have new content coming out daily. Make sure you subscribe. God bless you guys. Based on all the research you've done, a decade of writing about this and decades of talking about these Marxists and these Leninists, how do we beat them? What are the marching orders for our troops, for our students watching, for the people in the audience to defeat a party that hates the country that they're overseeing?
It's a great question, too. What is Marxism? Marxism was an idea. What is the Declaration? Basically, it was ideas that were written about by John Locke. What about our Constitution? Where does it get its ideas from, the founders? From Montesquieu, 3 branches of government and so forth. So what am I trying to say? You have Thomas Paine, who really lit a fire under the revolution. Ideas do have consequences. Bad ideas and good ideas. The more people who learn, particularly young people in colleges and universities, but all people, what a diabolical and evil entity the Democrat Party is, the more we are able to explain its real history, rather than the propaganda that it has built up, a cocoon, if you will, of deceit and lies and demagoguery, until we can pierce that, educate ourselves, inform our fellow citizens, our family members, neighbors, friends, colleagues, fellow students, whomever they are. Just say, read this. Read this, read this, read this. I think the more people who turn on the Democrat Party will be a result in which we can eventually destroy the value and the strength of this party as the monopoly party, which it is today, and get back to business, our own lives, and having a limited government and so forth. There's not going to be one simple thing we can do, but there's one simple thing we cannot do, Charlie. If we lose the next presidential election, despite their best efforts to destroy Donald Trump, or for that matter, anybody who steps up and challenges them, it is going to be not only much more difficult, but perhaps impossible to claw our way back. That's where Mark, we are today.
I totally agree. And I want to just, for the audience, what gives you hope on the horizon right now, Mark? What are you seeing in the country with the ordinary citizen, the parents at school boards? What is giving you hope that we can defeat these Marxists? Mark Levin.
Well, how do you know I have hope that we can? See, I don't look at things that way. I tell my audience, fight like hell. Everybody else can think about hope. When I get calls, when people say, what can we do? I always say, it's not about we. What are you going to do? What are you going to do after this call into my radio show? To spread the word of liberty, to challenge tyranny, whether it's a small role or a big role. I can't look at parents at a school board meeting or people yelling at AOC and believe, okay, great, the American people have awakened. It's not a matter of the American people awakening. I don't know if they've awakened or not. I've been involved in the Tea Party movement, the Reagan Revolution, all these different efforts that are underway. So I don't want to create a Pollyanna situation. I say this to people, when you're fighting a military battle, it's not, I'm just saying, what gives you hope? It is, we have to defeat these battles.
That's right.
So fight, fight, fight. Never give up. And if we win, then I've got a lot of hope. But on the other hand, I'm not deluding myself either.
And part of it is you must know your enemy. You must know that they intimidate you, they smear you, they slander you, they have the media on their side. But I believe this is winnable. That's one of the things I do want to make sure we communicate, Mark. Again, I'm not trying to get into the gambling odds here of, oh, are we the favorite or the underdog? Look, they control everything. But you have a moral obligation to fight. And they've been fighting and taking over institutions for 30, for 40, for 50 years. Your reaction, Mark, about 30 seconds, and we have to say goodbye to radio.
100% correct. We have men and women who've put their lives on the line since the founding of this country in order to actually establish this country. The least we can do is something in our lives and in our roles to spread the word, to push back. Just look at your kids and your grandkids. Do you really want to surrender them to the teachers' unions? Do you really want to surrender your liberty to the Democrat Party? Do you really want to destroy citizenship? And you can go on and on and on. So the issue isn't what we can do. The issue is, what are you going to do in your lives to make a difference. At a minimum, we should all be Thomas Paine's and Paul Revere's, at a minimum.
Yes.
And that'll make a difference.
I'm going to read here, Mark, and we'll just close it up. The Democrat Party this is the last part of the book, stands for the relentless pursuit of power and control. America was founded on the principle of individual and human liberty and the dispersion of political and governmental power. The Roman Republic lasted 482 years. Our republic is only 247 years old. If the Democrat Party succeeds, the American experiment will have failed. Summarize it all, Mark. Couldn't have the stakes any higher.
Because the Democrat Party is the enemy of the people. Because the Democrat Party is about empowering itself. The Democrat Party is about replacing the government as the power center and crushing anything that stands in its way. It does not believe in free speech because there is nothing but conformity that's required to get to the promised land. They're not allowed to challenge its ideas. They will crush dissent as they have with censorship, as they have, quite frankly, with the FBI and the Department of Justice, going after pro-life groups and parents. The tyranny is here. The question now is, what are we going to do about it? And there's many civil, legitimate things that we can do, first and foremost, but we can still communicate with each other. Please, let's do it. There's tens of millions of us. We're an army of tens of millions of people.
Yes.
We change the way people view the greatest enemy we face, which isn't communist China. That's the second greatest enemy we face. It's the Democrat Party that can do more damage to this country and has than any other entity on the face of the earth.
When we realize that the greatest enemy is the political party that controls the government, we're going to make real progress.